A university is not something that one simply opens, like a savings account or a jar of pickles. Any self-respecting academic institution was doubtlessly opened long ago by dignified people who wore bowler hats and spoke via subtitle. The world is a creation of the past, and it is our job to keep it all going and try not to touch anything.
Students are reminded that this is the fun part. stupid questions will make you look stupid. Janitor required in lecture theatre. The campus is not responsible for anything that happens in the science lab. Janitor required for groundskeeping. Thank you.
Harrison Wolf on 2 Point Radio. It's Harrison Wolf going through the county sock drawer on 2 Point Radio. I just had a very big sleep, so it's going to be a lively one.
Taking students for Scientography. The timetable is not written in stone. Still, we're not changing it. Students are asked not to become nocturnal. Janitor needed in science lab. In the science lab. Starting. Please take a seat.
Live music is like fresh fruit and vegetables, man. It's better than the stuff in a can, and when the opportunity presents itself, you gotta cram as much of it in you as possible. That's just sensible, healthy living. You can't have too much of a good thing. That's why they call it a good thing. When I was young, I used to stand right next to the speakers and drink it in until I couldn't hear a thing. That's how I knew I was full.
It doesn't matter how desperate you are. No urinating on campus facilities. Lecture starting now. Janitor required for groundskeeping. Thank you.
Did you see those student protests at Mitten University the other day? It's all a little peaceful for my liking. Sure, I can respect the vibe, but sometimes you gotta ruffle some feathers. When I was at school, they took away mashed potato Tuesdays, so a few of us got into the school mascot's coop, and boy, did we ruffle that chicken. It was all friendly, of course, but they knew we meant business. Just some food for thought, my student comrades. Go get your mashed potatoes.
Students are reminded that you don't have to ask to go to the toilet. Showering is technically but not socially optional. Janitor needed to unblock toilets. Lovely.
Stop what you're doing and eat some cheesy gubbins! 3 out of 5 people agree that cheesy gubbins are cheesy-licious! And that's not even a word! Cheesy gubbins! What are you talking about? Cheese!
Are reminded that you don't have to ask to go to the toilet. Janitor required for groundskeeping. Thank you. Attention, your finger is not a toothbrush. Janitor needed to unblock toilets. Lovely.
How's it going? You're listening to 2 Point Radio, the most popular station in the greater 2 Point County area. Nice. We're serving more great radio with a side of insidious advertising right after this.
It's a bit drizzly outside. Please plan accordingly. Approaching the end of the academic year. Try not to worry. Is starting soon. Was there anything we wanted to do?
As longtime listeners will know, I have a wide range of hobbies and interests, but jogging isn't one of them. I mean, think about it. Going around and around. Park in an endless, exhausting loop to feel satisfaction? If you ask me, it's just another trick that big business uses to train our brains into total subordination. I'm sitting down, man. There's no moving me.
Enjoy your summer. I know I will. Doesn't matter how desperate you are. No urinating on campus facilities. Janitor needed to unblock toilets. Lovely.
Bungle gets a lot of praise in the press. I just don't think it's healthy for anything, to get talked about in such a positive light. It makes my eyebrows uncomfortable. Sure, they've been responsible for a lot of so-called technological advances, and some of you might love your automatic toilet paper dispensers, but I was doing just fine on the toilet. Thank you very much.
Frequently asked questions. I believe that smell is you. Janitor needed to unblock toilets. Lovely. Janitor needed in dormitory.
All right, I am out of here. I hope you all have a righteous rest of your day, and that the constant fear of alien abduction, natural disaster, and revolutionary upheaval doesn't stop you from having a fine and restful evening. Hopefully there's a next time.
to unblock toilets. Lovely. Janitor required in bathroom. Janitor needed to unblock toilets. Lovely. Janitor needed in staff room. Janitor needed to unblock toilets. Lovely. has opened a new building. Good for us.
Now that's easy listening. The sound of 2 Point County on 2 Point Radio. Ricky Hawthorne waxing the waves lyrically and literally on 2 Point Radio. Why don't you listen to this next track and I'll take that pebble out of my shoe.
Janitor needed to unblock toilets. Lovely. Janitor required in bathroom. Janitor required for groundskeeping. Thank you.
We've got breaking news for you on 2 Point Radio. A zoo worker at the Crockle Bay Zoo has fallen into the gibbon enclosure. It's been reported that they're not under any immediate danger, and zoo officials are currently negotiating with the gibbons for the employee's release.
announcement. The campus just got bigger, not necessarily better. The academic year is starting. I hope you have a pencil. You students should make a good first impression. No pressure.
Being a spy? Yes, I pine for a life of international intrigue and late-night dinners at the county's expense. Sadly, to be a spy, you need to be able to whisper, and I just can't do it. When it comes to disclosing secrets, you don't want my persistent volume and crystal clear intonation.
Now taking students for virtual normality. Janitor needed to unblock toilets. Lovely. announcement. Healthy body, healthy mind. I came up with that.
At Jumbo, we know it's our employees that are the big deal. That's why they get the Jumbo treatment. Mobile stationery, toilet substitute, sip of milk, leg rooms, dental surgeries, additional headrest, and our famous data system analysis training program system. Or FDAP-STAPS. I'm Jumbo McNally, and I wish I worked here.
Janitor needed to unblock toilets. Lovely. Janitor required in student lounge. Janitor needed to unblock toilets. Lovely.
And we've got an update for you on the story of the zoo worker that fell into the gibbon enclosure. We're now hearing that the employee is rising through the gibbon's social structure. Fascinating stuff. There's no word on what gibbons are, but I believe they're a kind of amphibious cat. Little smooth creatures with whiskers and a big bushy tail. Fantastic!
Janitor required in student lounge. Janitor needed to unlock toilets. Lovely. End of year is approaching. It's too late to start trying. The academic year is starting soon. Was there anything we wanted to do?
We're joined by Professor Hamish Curlybacks of the Pebbly Frog Sanctuary, who tells me gibbons are nothing like an amphibious cat. What's going on, Hamish?
That's right, Ricky. Gibbons are actually, well, they're land mammals and apes, much like ourselves, but with very long arms.
Apes, you see? Well, I never. Thanks for joining us, Professor. There's nothing I like more than being corrected. On air.
Students must vacate the campus. Student requests are often heard, but not always listened to.
It's time for Chef Ricky's morsel of the day. You can buy breadcrumbs from any self-respecting supermarket or interweb parlor replacement service, but there's something to be said for doing it the old-fashioned way, by throwing the loaf against a brick wall until it disintegrates into a fresh and flaky nothingness. It'll take a good couple of hours, but boy is it worth it.
Janitor needed to unblock toilets. Lovely. Janitor required in bathroom. Requesting assistant.
We've got breaking news and a surprise twist from the gibbon enclosure. The zoo worker, first thought lost to the diminutive apes, has become their leader. They claim to have learned to love the gibbons, their way of life, and their disproportionately lengthy arms. So, instead of going to work in the zoo every day, they'll just be living there, I suppose. That's one way to skip the morning traffic. I've been Ricky Hawthorne. Good night.
Doesn't matter how desperate you are. No urinating on campus facilities. Students are reminded to make requests, not demands. but not socially optional.
You've taken your medication because it's time for the Harrison Wolf Show here on 2 Point Radio, and it's gonna be a wild ride. It's me, Harrison Wolf, the voice of freedom screaming into a thankless night. It's gonna be a huge show today, so I'm gonna eat a big old sandwich. Let's power up and power on.
Required in bathroom. Janitor needed to unblock toilets. Lovely. You students should make a good first impression. No pressure.
Did you see that Bungle launched another rocket into space the other day? I'm sure they'll tell you that it's important work. But what I want to know is, why don't they try something a little funkier? I mean, how many times do we have to do the same old bunch of astronaut things? Why not send up a load of sandwiches? Or a robot? Or that angry badger that lives in my garden? Because it doesn't fit with their agenda. That's why.
teacher. That's a class without a teacher.
I've forgotten what this segment was going to be about. Do you ever just forget what you were going to say? Thoughts are like frogs, and sometimes they just hop away, but they know what they're doing. If I still knew, we'd never have had this moment. It feels right. Oh, yeah, I remember now. Here's a song.
Welcome to the start of the new year. I'll be your host. Hello. Failing students might want to try something else. We have a class without a teacher. That's a class without a teacher. Requesting new room. A new room for the syllabus.
At Bungle, we know what young people want in a motor vehicle. Independence. Fun. Woohoo! Wheels. Beaver from Bungle. The car that puts the E in freedom.
Students are reminded that the rain isn't my fault. Thank you. Attention, your finger is not a toothbrush. Announcement. Healthy body, healthy mind. I came up with that.
Harrison Wolf bringing you unfiltered content on 2 Point Radio. I don't have an editor on my show. Why? Because editors can change what you say. They can make me say, "Hey everyone, come to my house and take my petunias." But I'd never say that outside of this specific example. It's gotta be natural, man. Give me juice with the pulp in. Give me cheese with the wax on. This is Radio Au Naturel. It's al fresco. It's al dente. Oh yeah.
Teacher required to do some teaching. Thank you. Syllabus requesting new room. A new room for the syllabus. body, healthy mind. I came up with that.
I was watching some of that cheesy Gubbins show the other day. You know, the cheesy goblins? Man, was I confused. What's their deal? Do they grow the Gubbins? Are they trying to find them or mine them or something? I tell you, kids must be pretty smart these days to follow such a complex show. Tip of the hat to any kids listening along.
Teacher required to do some teaching. Thank you. Prospectus is not a promise, but a course is missing a classroom.
Some expressions are more than a little strange, like getting up on the wrong side of the bed. What are you talking about? If you're having a lousy day, there's no need to vilify half of your mattress, my man. Jeez, just have a bagel or something. There's enough negativity in the world.
Students eating rubbish are reminded that you are what you eat. in need of teaching.
It's the end of today's show. But don't worry, every ending is the opportunity for you to, go and do something else. When life flushes a toilet, it starts showing a cool movie at that theater downtown. So have a good one, my friends. See you next time.
A prospectus is not a promise, but a course is missing a classroom. Body is a temple, and you wouldn't fill a temple with crisps. Syllabus requesting new room. A new room for the syllabus. Unattended students in need of teaching. students must vacate the campus.
Hello, yes, I'm Maggie Watmore, doing my best on campus radio. We've got a big show for you today, but I'm trying not to think about it. No, only joking, of course. This is really fun. Let's have some music, shall we?
The summer is a good time to relax and prepare for next year. It's not your year, it's just another year. You students should make a good first impression. No pressure.
And now over to Hugh, and something about a hose.
Yes, that's right. Students were protesting a sudden spike in milkshake prices. I'm told that proceedings were fairly peaceful until a rogue beach ball struck an attendant on the arm. Things got a little tasty, and a garden hose was even used on one student who described himself as fine, just a bit wet. I'll be here bringing you the updates as the story develops. Back to you.
prospectus is not a promise, but a course is missing a classroom. Unattended students in need of teaching.
And now, Wanda, with an update on the latest campus fashion trends. Anyone who's someone is wearing their shoelaces untied. This trend is here to stay. Oh, there really is something about seeing all those laces dancing in the wind. Yes, we may have seen a fairly drastic uptake in people falling down, but this is the price you pay for fashion.
Students should work smarter and harder. Required to do some teaching. Thank you. Prospectus is not a promise, but a course is missing a classroom.
New to the Crumley student range. Unfoldable pizza.
Yum.
It'll fill you up without filling up your cupboards.
Oh, yeah.
Crumley's unfoldable pizza. It's a fraction the size of your average frozen pizza.
Whoa.
And when it's unfolded, well, you've got yourself a whole pizza. Just like Mama used to make.
Teacher required to do some teaching. Thank you. It's a bit drizzly outside. Please plan accordingly. We have a class without a teacher. That's a class without a teacher. Syllabus requesting new room. A new room for the syllabus.
We've come to the end of today's show. Didn't that fly by? I wasn't timing it or anything, but if I was, I think I'd see that we finished 35 seconds early. I've been Maggie Watmore. I'll be back tomorrow for my next allotted segment. Bye for now.
is starting soon. Was there anything we wanted to do? The academic year is over. Students must vacate the campus. The academic year is starting. I hope you have a pencil. Teacher required to do some teaching. Thank you. Is expanding, even more than usual.
hope you've taken your medication, because it's time for the Harrison Wolf Show here on 2 Point Radio. And it's gonna be a wild ride. Yo, and hello. It's Harrison Wolf coming at you with the dulcet sounds of the underground. We've got a good one for you today. But first, I should probably turn some lights on. Fully Enlightened Radio, coming up next.
Unattended students in need of teaching. Staff are reminded that dogs don't eat homework.
There is so much to learn in the wonderful field of gastronomy. Firstly, I suppose, that it's not an actual field, though with all the vegetables and livestock and so on, there may be rather a lot of time spent in the field. There you have it. The study of food really does cover so much ground that we only manage to scratch the surface and talk about grass. Let's have some music, shall we?
Students are reminded that I don't know everything. I have a life too, you know. If it's not on your CV, it didn't happen. Not to me. Classes are technically optional, and so is failing. Janitor required for groundskeeping. Thank you. If you hear this, please drink some water. Thank you.
Now that's easy listening. The sound of 2 Point County on 2 Point Radio. You're listening to 2 Point Radio, the place your ears call home. We've got a barnstorming show for you today, but before we kick down the door and go straight for the valuables, soak in some sonic excellence. Play that track and we'll be right back.
Announcement. The campus just got bigger, not necessarily better. Janitor required in lecture theatre. Students are reminded to try and keep up. Lost and found report. Empty cardboard box. Oh, never mind. Announcement. No, I've forgotten.
In the news today, I seem to have sat on something sharp. We're not sure exactly what it is or what the consequences might be, but we'll update you as soon as we know more.
Can you see it? Look at that. Is it in me? Tell me it's not in me.
Janitor required for groundskeeping. Thank you. Lost and found report. If you lost something embarrassing, I have it now. Collect if you dare. Failing an assignment is not the end of the world, but it could be the start.
Wouldn't you know, I'd sat on a sprig of holly from yesterday's lunch. That's the risk you run when adding a little pizzazz to your meal. But that won't stop me. It's not the first piece of holly I've sat on, and it certainly won't be the last.
This is an academic institution. Our bathrooms are co-educational. Janitor required in bathroom. Frequently asked questions. You can find the bathroom yourself. I believe in you. needed to unblock toilets. Lovely. Announcement. Shouldn't you be working? Students are reminded that you really should be self-sufficient by now.
At Bungle, we know what young people want in a motor vehicle. Independence. Fun. Woohoo! Wheels. Beaver from Bungle. The car that puts the E in freedom.
The staff room is for staff. It's their room. Skills are not transferable.
2 Point Radio, the station that puts the stabilizers on the bike of your day. It's Ricky Hawthorne. The time is... Anyone got the time? No? They told me I'd regret putting sundials in the booth. There aren't even any windows, they said. Oh, how we laughed. More timeless radio after this silky little number.
Listening, you were asleep. I saw you. Frequently asked questions. No, I wasn't listening.
Chef Ricky here, bringing you a morsel of the day. We all like a boiled egg, but wouldn't you love one on the go? Just imagine, you're stuck in traffic and bang! A boiled egg, just for you. You see, eggs have a casing, or shell, that's perfect for keeping the eggs safe. Why, I've got 2 boiled eggs in my pocket right now. Give it a try.
Janitor needed in staff room. Student housing should be character building, not pleasant.
I've just eaten a pocket egg. How are you? I must remember to boil another batch and take them to my next book club meeting. Yes, I've been in a book club since I was a boy, and this is my 5th attempt at The Salty Minstrel, one of the county's first books. I really do struggle with the old language. In fact, I think the only words that are the same are salty and minstrel. You'd think it was enough, but it's not.
Janitor needed in staff room. Announcement. You can't work in the student lounge. It's just not possible. Janitor required for groundskeeping. Thank you. Students for gastronomy. The academic year is starting. I hope you have a pencil. Gastronomy students are reminded that snacks are always welcome. Students are reminded that you don't have to ask to go to the toilet. Students are reminded that invaders are uninvited and not my problem. Frequently asked questions. I believe that smell is you.
It's time for the question of the week. We asked, which instrument is the funniest? We had some great replies, including quite a few we can't read on air. You're a vulgar lot, you really are. Knock knock. Who's there? The answer. The answer who? The answer is the trombone. Now that is funny. I'll be laughing until next time. Fare thee good and fare thee well. Good night.
Students are reminded there are no reasons, only excuses. Janitor needed to unblock toilets. Lovely. Frequently asked questions. I believe that smell is you. Janitor needed to unblock toilets. Lovely. Students are reminded that you don't have to ask to go to the toilet.
the Harrison Wolf Show, baby. All right. Hey, this is Harrison Wolf, and thanks for stopping by. Today, we're going to be talking about a subject that's near and dear to my heart. The one thing you need when things are getting hairy. You hear something funny outside, or you're just hiding from the milkman. That's right. Today, we're talking panic rooms.
Janitor needed to unblock toilets. Lovely. Showering is technically but not socially optional. Gastronomy students are reminded that snacks are always welcome.
Every good panic room starts with its supplies. Now, some things are a must. Your crackers, your flashlight, your bottles of water, sure. But don't be afraid to show some personality. I, for one, keep a bowling ball in my panic room. I find it's the perfect place to practice.
how desperate you are. No urinating on campus facilities. Janitor needed to unblock toilets. Lovely. Showering is technically but not socially optional.
Now, when it comes to surveillance, I'm strictly an anti-camera kind of guy. My philosophy is, I can't see you, you can't see me. So I like to keep things as low-tech as possible. I'd recommend strategically placed strings attached to some bells. You hear a ring, and you got yourself a visitor. Of course, sometimes it's the doorbell, and you really do have a visitor. If you want to get real crafty, just leave a load of rakes in your yard. No one suspects a rake in the yard, but you'll hear the sucker when he steps on one and takes a handle to the chops. Ouch.
Janitor needed to unblock toilets. Lovely. Students are reminded that you don't have to ask to go to the toilet. Janitor required for groundskeeping. Thank you.
to the Crumley Student range. Unfoldable pizza.
Yum.
It'll fill you up without filling up your cupboards.
Oh yeah.
Crumley's unfoldable pizza. It's a fraction the size of your average frozen pizza.
Whoa.
And when it's unfolded, well, you've got yourself a whole pizza. Just like Mama used to make.
Showering is technically but not socially optional. Janitor needed to unblock toilets. Lovely. Students are reminded that you don't have to ask to go to the toilet.
Here's a question from Gyro in Duckworth. What are some of your favorite panic room pastimes? And thanks for the question, Gyro. I find that you can have a lot of fun with a little bouncy ball. In fact, one time I was bouncing, lost track of time, and it turned out that I'd been doing it for 16 hours. I went cold turkey after that, meaning I was hungry, and took a turkey sandwich out the freezer. Turkey.
Students are reminded to enjoy it while and if you can. Janitor needed to unblock toilets. Lovely. Doesn't matter how desperate you are. No urinating on campus facilities.
Here's one for the more advanced panickers amongst you. It's important to be one step ahead. What do I mean by that? Well, you could do a number of things. You could have a trapdoor for sneaky getaway. You could install your panic room in a hall of mirrors. Or you could hang a sign on the door that says, "Out for lunch." They won't know what's hit them.
Attention, your finger is not a toothbrush. Janitor needed to unblock toilets. Lovely. are reminded that you don't have to ask to go to the toilet.
Let's take one more question before we wrap up here. Here's a good one. What type of wood would you recommend for the furniture in your panic room? Well, you can't go wrong with oak. That baby's a classic for a reason. Me, personally, I like a maple. It's heavy, and I like the added water resistance. Plus, it's fun to say. Maple.
Janitor needed to unblock toilets. Lovely. There's a class starting on campus. Funny that. Janitor needed to unblock toilets. Lovely.
Before you all head off to build your brand new panic rooms, don't forget to take a radio so Harrison can come along for the ride. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Harrison, can't they track me with the frequencies? And the answer is probably yes, but the Harrison Wolf Show is worth the risk. Happy hiding, listeners.
like to learn. The timetable has now been published. Schedule your lives accordingly. Students are reminded to be nice to each other. If you aren't, who else will? Despite the rumours, the campus grounds are not a toilet. Prospectus is not a promise, but a course is missing a classroom. Has opened a new building. Good for us.
Sir Nigel Bickleworth on 2 Point Radio. I hear that another university has opened its doors to the aspiring bookworms and lab rats of 2 Point County. Listeners may remember that I don't like new universities because they're not old and therefore not any good. If they were, they'd have opened a long time ago. That's called logic, students, though I don't suppose you'd know.
Students are reminded to make requests, not demands. Showering is technically but not socially optional. Janitor required in lecture theatre.
Welcome back. I can't say that I understand our county's recent fascination with opening pop-up universities on a weekly basis, but it seems appropriate to commemorate the opening of yet another fun-time house of real good learning. I thought we'd talk about the past, memories and nostalgia. The feelings that things used to be in some incalculable and all-encompassing sense better. But why do we feel that way? Are we wearing rose-tinted glasses? Perhaps. Did everything used to be better? Probably.
I used to love taking the train, the steam, the crisp sandwiches, watching people's luggage fall. Oh, those were the days. Sadly, I now find the experience of using our county's rail services is missing one rather vital component. I find that everyone seems all too engrossed by their mobile phones. Now, I have no interest in talking to anyone, but what I did like was ignoring people. It's just no fun if they do it for you.
Janitor required in lecture theatre. The academic year is now over. The academic year is starting soon. Was there anything we wanted to do?
The realm of Quem Charlie has been overthrown by the evil Green Cruiser. From the Bay of Gravy to the Giblet Caves, this once succulent land has been turned a putrid green. There is only one who can save us now. Meet Wizard!
Explore a world of legend and lamb chops in Meat Wizard, Return of the Salami Sorcerer. Only on the Bungle Button Master, where the games be happening.
Janitor required in lecture theatre. Janitor needed to unblock toilets. Lovely.
I was recently stolen back to the days of my youth. Yes, after inadvertently trapping myself in the airing cupboard, what did I come across but my old wooden tennis clogs? It had been too long since I thought about my days on the university tennis team. It was said that the mere sound of our carved shoes were enough to cause eruptions of rosy cheeks and giggling on campus, although some believed that it had something to do with our shorts.
Teachers are here to instruct and inform students on their studies. If you needed a reminder. New students, we're more afraid of you than you are of us. Is now live.
Whatever happened to wooden tennis shoes anyway? The visual spectacle of tennis used to be accompanied by a positive symphony, a sound like a company of coconuts dancing on a ballroom floor. Only wooden tennis clogs can produce such an enchanting auditory experience. But what do they wear now? Ghastly, squeaky things. And for what? Added grip? Light weight? It's practically cheating.
Syllabus requesting new room. A new room for the syllabus.